First at 11, everyone had gone to bed at a substance abuse rehab center when fire started to spread through one of the buildings. Inside sleeping were nearly a dozen men who had to move fast to escape the flames. It all happened at the First Step Farm of Western North Carolina in Buncombe County. 7 News reporter Stephanie Borman tonight with the fire that caused a lot of destruction at a place known for rebuilding lives.
In the valley of the Pisgah Mountains, fire line do not cross tape surrounded what was left of this men's dormitory at the First Step Farms rehab facility in Western North Carolina.
We're just very blessed. This could have really been a tragedy.
Executive Director Michael Plemons tells 7 News a fire broke out around 2 a.m. on Saturday morning. Plemons says the flames engulfed the building within minutes. 10 people were sleeping in the dorm at the time.
Everybody made it out, no one injured.
Plemons says the fire alarms in the dorm and fire drills residents practiced saved lives in this case. Firefighters fought the blaze for nearly an hour. Unfortunately, the dorm and everything inside was lost.
Most of our men come to us, they're homeless and indigent and don't have a lot of belongings when they get here, and so a lot of them have, lost some things that they can't be replaced.
But the farm is a facility of second chances, so we'll just replace this sucker.
Plemons says the building was the first dorm built on the rehab facility campus. Over the years, it's housed dozens of people working through substance abuse, opening the doors for counseling and work therapy through farming.
We're about 65% success rate here.
For now, those displaced have been moved to the second men's dorm right next door.
We will rebuild. We've been in this community since 1976. We're beloved by our community and well supported, so we will begin rebuilding and continue our mission to serve people with the disease of addiction.
Stephanie Borman, 7 News.
The cause of that fire is still unknown. Meanwhile, Michael Plemons says insurance will help in the long term, but as far as immediate needs, they could use some clothing donations for the men who lost a lot of their stuff in that fire. If you can help, we've posted details on our website, WSPA.com. Just look for this story at the top of our main page. In Greenville County, state troopers say that 2 vehicles hit this house. It happened around 9:40 this morning on Whitehorse Road near Parkdale in Berea. They say the pickup made an improper lane change and hit the SUV you see there. Both ran off the road and hit the brick house on Whitehorse Road. In the background, the driver of that truck was charged. Both drivers were taken to the hospital to get checked out. In Oconee County, the coroner's office says a woman has died after a crash there. It happened at the intersection of West, South Broad Street and South Cedar Street in Walhalla around 2:30 this afternoon. The coroner says 76-year-old Lois Winkler of Walhalla was a front seat passenger in a car that was hit by another car and died in the crash. No word on any other injuries. Police and state troopers are still investigating. We have an update to a story that we were telling you about this morning on the news. A boy who was found wandering along the road overnight is back with his mom tonight. Someone driving along a road spotted that child on Highway 29 and Welcome Road in Williamston around 2 this morning. The child, believed to be about 4, was taken into protective custody and then to DSS. Deputies say the mom was located later that morning and this morning, and the child was released into her custody. DSS is still gathering more information about what exactly happened. In Greenville County, the coroner's office says it could be at least a month before they know why a man died at the Slater Marietta Fire Department. The chief there says Matthew Jones was brought there early Friday with bruises on his body. He then went into cardiac arrest and died. The coroner's office says there was no obvious cause of death after an autopsy they performed today. Alan Jacobs, a Greenville police officer who was shot and killed in the line of duty 3 years ago, was remembered again today in Greenville with a 12-mile ruck held along the Swamp Rabbit Trail to Travelers Rest. If you don't know what a ruck is, Tobias Rodriguez explains.
A group of Greenville police officers woke up bright and early this morning to honor one of their own. These men and women gathered at the Swamp Rabbit Trail in Greenville to honor a man who was killed in the line of duty. Alan Jacobs was a veteran and a police officer for Greenville PD. The men who organized this event say they wanted to bring a little of their military background to the upstate. One exercise the military taught them is a ruck, where you carry a heavy-weighted bag for miles. In this case, they are walking from downtown Greenville to Officer Jacobs' gravesite in Travelers Rest. They say it's challenging, but Jacobs would have been proud.
Took pride in his physical fitness and being just mentally and physically tough. and that's kind of what we were looking for. And a 12-mile ruck will challenge you both mentally and physically. So that's kind of why we started this.
This is the third year these men and women have honored Jacobs in this way. Reporting in Greenville, Tobias Rodriguez, 7 News.
In New Zealand, police now say another body has been found inside one of the 2 mosques in those deadly attacks. 50 people have now died. They say 35 others are still in the hospital, including a 4-year-old little girl. Meanwhile, 2 people arrested around the time that the shooting suspect, Brenton Tarrant, was apprehended are not believed to have been involved. Steve Futterman is covering the story in Christchurch and the developing investigation.
Mourners gathered at separate memorials Saturday to honor the 50 people slaughtered in the middle of Friday prayers at mosques here in Christchurch, New Zealand. The 28-year-old suspected gunman showed no remorse, making a white nationalist hand gesture during his first court appearance. Investigators say they discovered the latest victim while clearing the crime scenes.
As of last night, we were able to take all of the victims from both of those scenes. And in doing so, we have located a further victim.
At least 35 people remain in the hospital recovering from their injuries.
There are 12 patients currently in the intensive care unit in a critical condition.
Omar Nabi's father Daoud was among the first to die as the shooter live streamed his murderous rampage.
Entering a place of prayer to shoot somebody is cowardly.
Abdul Aziz came face to face with the white supremacist at the second mosque.
And he got the gun out of his car and started shooting at me. He did around 4 or 5 shots on me, and I was able to duck myself between the cars.
Survivor Farid Ahmed has a message for those with white supremacist ideologies.
They are not going to win. They're not going to win. We will be harmonious.
The immigration debate is dividing the region. The suspect who is charged with murder is due back in court next month. Steve Futterman, CBS News, Christchurch, New Zealand.
In a 74-page manifesto posted online, the shooter went on anti-immigrant rants. He also said he was out to avenge attacks in Europe that were carried out by Muslims. In New York, police say an arrest has been made in the shooting death of the reputed boss of the Gambino crime family. They say 24-year-old Anthony Camello was arrested today. Francesco Calli was shot to death outside of his Staten Island home Wednesday night. Police believe the gunman may have crashed his truck into Calli's car to lure him outside. But they stress that the investigation is early and they have yet to find the gun used in that murder. Crews say a fire that was burning at the ExxonMobil plant near Houston, Texas has been contained. Our CBS affiliate in Houston reports it was gas that was burning in an area that processes gasoline, but the company says there was never any danger to the public and they plan to investigate to figure out what caused it. No one was hurt. The Baytown refinery, by the way, is the second largest refinery in the U.S. Much more news to come. A big competition was held right here in the upstate today. You'll see all the robotics on display, built by kids and the organization that was well represented as well. Plus, St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow, but that didn't stop folks from celebrating today. We'll take you to several celebrations across the area this weekend.